Oh, I gotta turn off the background noise best I can. I know, I need proper equipment. It'll happen. Or not. Whatever. Yeah, this is Dr. Mia Luth. It is July 23rd, 2026. It is approximately 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, New York, USA. And I know that I said I was going to do another addition to my YouTube course, Basics of Metaphysics, and I kind of crashed out that night, so sorry. I have some serious medical conditions, and sometimes, no matter what I might want, it just doesn't happen that way, which I do everything I can. Like, there's this whole part of me that has to work to not get frustrated or annoyed by that, because I was just used to being active, punctual, reliable, and when these things start going all over the place, I mean, I got some hockey bench coach language for that bleep 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 stuff. But anyway, so I did add, like, so every so often when I see a YouTube video, I will sometimes add it to my course list, and it's not necessarily sometimes, because I just added one, Arcturians and other things like that. Just bear with that, okay? I'm not putting names as to sources or other kinds of things. It just is relevant because, you know, when I was born in 72, and let's just say, I started nerding out by the time I was 4. There were things that were unknown to the general public and to the even educated general public, universities, so on and so forth. But nowadays, okay, so metaphysics might seem like a bunch of hooey to some people, but basically, it's just another, there's the physics of sound, there's astrophysics, there's quantum physics, right. So metaphysics is just another, perspective, viewpoint of physics. So it is, it touches on those subatomic situations. It touches on philosophical information. It touches on some spiritual things. It touches on the human psyche and our perceptive systems, biology, and all those things. So it's a little more comprehensive look at certain things that are soon to be discovered. And there's research, but it's avant-garde or whatever, anybody. But 30 years from now, maybe even 20, it could be even less than that, the way information, speeds through the internet, these things will just be commonly known to a large portion of the human public. So, and parapsychology, I chose that concentration just simply because it sort of is more looking at the power of energy that is in us, the power of energy that is around us. There are all sorts of things we can't see with our physical eyes, okay? But we know it's there. And, I use this example. Galilei and others during that time came up with and used telescopes. Okay, so telescopes magnify things, you can see things from far away. But, everybody had, to that point, well, almost everybody had thought that the sky was basically dark, at night. You understand? If you're looking at the night sky, you're looking outward. And yes, space was essentially dark. And didn't, so there was just points of light in the dark. But if you look at a radio telescope version of the night sky, oh no, it's not. It's lit up like a million suns. Our perceptive systems don't see that as humans, so we build machines and other things to be able to perceive them. Okay, so before radio telescopes, we really thought space was mostly, just points of faraway light. And then, more and more started looking at the Milky Way and all those sorts of things. So basically, space is lit up pretty well. So perceptive systems is important. We, like human beings, have certain types of perceptive systems, and some we have and may not hone them or use them. So some people will say sixth sense, as in SIXTH sense. And essentially, the fact is that pretty much all human beings do have an extra sense aside from touch, taste, smell, feel. It's just understanding that that's what it is. And how we commonly use it without even thinking about it. And psychokinetic experiments are interesting to me. The thing of it is with me, it's just like, well, what if you're psychokinetically capable and you're doing stuff and have no freaking idea? Which some of the paranormal people like me and some of the others who do anomalous research and other kinds of things can say that sometimes your house isn't being haunted. It's not a demon. Okay? The presence is you. And you're psychokinetically able, and you're starting, like, it's like when you start to ride a bike, you're all shaky and you need the training wheels, and you know what I'm trying to say. So more people who are looking into these things, who are able to help people understand certain things, so there's fewer accidental incidences. Okay? So that's why I put that last video on. Because our awareness, just in general as a species, humans, is increasing. Now, I know there's some that are not, you understand? But in general, okay, we are becoming more aware of how certain energy works, how atomic particles work, now subatomic particles, how certain energy works on Earth and how it can be manipulated, and then how it works in a different we have the stratosphere, we have the when there is less influence of Earth gravity, right? So all these things are being learned, and more at a more quick pace. Okay. But I will say, so I just put that one up because it kind of covers what is sort of happening with, human curiosity, nerds trying to, discover, are there things we can do to help ourselves? Are there things we're doing and we don't even kind of realize, if certain things we need to stop doing, so on and so forth. So, also to say they shut down CERN, which was a really good idea, is all I will say right out loud, and they will dismantle it. Now, whatever their future plans are, I wouldn't put money on it. Anyway, So, there are people who don't even realize the way we project our voices. We have this sort of energy, and the way we move, the way we use the air around us. A lot of people don't think about that, but these are things that get studied all the time in various places. So I put that video just sort of as an example. And I did see a video where someone asked one of the AI, and I can't remember which one it wasn't a female, a question about humankind, and the AI said the problem will be that humans, it's just gonna move faster and faster and faster, and it'll just become out of reach for humans, and we can't keep up. Well, who said we had to keep up? I mean, it's kind of like the road is laid ahead of us. So AI can do a certain kind of thinking, but nothing close to what humans can do. So, and also, I have to be honest and tell you that musically speaking and some other, right, I mean, it's just outright stealing intellectual property. It's manipulating people's images that it shouldn't be doing that. I've seen on YouTube, this guy worked with this guy, but they're AI and I'm just like, nuh-uh. There are too many issues with AI, and people are like, oh, the Democrats and we're winning. I'm like, I'm not either, so shut the hell up and leave me out of it. I'm speaking truth straight out. Okay, there's human laws. There's unspoken sort of things that humans understand that AI doesn't. So relying strictly on AI is a really bad idea. Point blank. But intellectually speaking, some musicians, people, I'm like, and then people are using that AI, using like Eminem's image and Youngblood's image and whoever the hell else, and they're making, AI's making this music, like putting it, and then these people are putting that content on a monetized YouTube channel. No. Go backward now, or pay the price. Everybody pays a price at some point, and you can run and hide from it, and you can just ignore consequences. What the consequences? I made it through and nothing bad happened. Okay, you understand? I'll give you an example. Someone I knew, by the way, my band, the One-Legged Popes, is just me now. I'm still slowly working on music, but it's just me now. But one of the members told me this story about how he wrecked a car, and he, had all this issue, and it wasn't his car, and blah, 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 and, apparently he went to court, and he didn't get any consequences, and, he got set free, and he got off scot-free, and he was all happy about it, and they're like, look and see, and then he gets, like, double pneumonia, and then he finds out he's got terminal cancer, and he dies within 6 months of making that statement. Maybe it's not related, but I would not put money on that. Okay, so metaphysics is just something, it's a different perspective from some perspectives that typical, like geological physicists, people who are used to, the way things work close to Earth. And we're still finding out stuff. Like, rocks actually can sing. And there are some things that actually have energetic potential that seem inert. So, the more we study these things, the more the nerds understand, and then the nerds have to have people who, right, can put it in more common, applicable, everyday language. So that is what's happening. All right. So, it's not like some fake. It's not a fake subject. It's not all, hooey or hocus pocus. There have been, telepathy experiments going on for a long time, and psychokinetics, and there are more and more paranormal investigators and parapsychologists like me and others are becoming more aware that some things that might seem like hauntings or whatever are actually someone in the house has psychokinetic capability and is fired up and has no idea. Okay, so we don't really want that because you don't really know what could happen. So the more we study it, the more we can learn to, should I even be, can I stop it from happening because I keep knocking over my next door neighbor's shit? It just the implications there. So the more we know, the better off we are. And so that's my basics of metaphysics, and that's why sometimes I put videos on there. But I will say that if you look up Schrodinger's cat, Schroedinger, apostrophe S, cat, C-A-T. Alright. Listen, nerds. Okay? Just quit trying to, think your brain is so fucking great. Because you're just fucking wrong. Okay, Schrodinger was just some dumbass dude who had way too much time sitting around with nothing to fucking do. Amen, hallelujah. You can't deny that. Okay, he's just a fucking cat killer. Okay, that cat was dead. Okay, the minute the motherfucker thought about putting him in a fucking closed box with poison, point blank. He's a fucking cat killer with way too much time on his hands. Nerds, check yourselves, because you are going to be embarrassed very soon. Alright, so, yep, here we are. Let me shove some love out there. Wee, free refills. Come on, sticking love out there. Okay. I am getting my new hip soon. I have a little bit more physical therapy for my neck. The good news is I do not have a neck fracture. I am going to move again soon because I can't live in a place that has stairs. I get surgery, new hip, all this other crap going on. So, again, I get to move. I know. Well, if it keeps happening, I'm like, one day I'm going to punch you in the face, God. You know that, right? I'm like, yeah, well, So, yeah, I'm slowly but surely working on some new music, too. I do speech therapy. Had to stop taking a certain medication because it's dries my mouth out so badly that I'm having other issues. 3 doctors have told me, no, you can't. You're so dry, it's just insane. Which sucks. Okay, but so I had to stop taking one, and, so then you get the effects that it was keeping them, blah, 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 and, take one med, and then they tell you, oh, well, here's another med for the side effects, blah, 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 blah. All right, stop the insanity. No, I'm serious. Okay? Anyway, metaphysics, see, mine's like parapsychology, but metaphysics is not some scary, weird, nutty shit. Okay, everybody? But it's not for everyone. Especially if you're not interested in certain things. Right? But there are a lot of studies, experiments, other things that for years, since the time I've been born. Okay? So psychokinetics and telepathy, and me looking at telepathy for nonverbal or mute people. The real world applications. To be able to communicate, you understand? Or if, you're somewhere and there's no phone, there's no, yes, to be able to reach out for help, those kind of things. So there are real world applications. So I don't sit around on some fucking high mountain thinking about shit all day, okay? I'm like, well, if we can't fucking use it on Earth, well, then fucking keep going that way. And keep thinking. Keep on thinking, Bob. Don't come back, Jack. That's how I feel about some stuff. Okay? So, yeah, that's the kind of general metaphysics. And so if I do put a video up, it's mostly because it does touch on some subjects. So that was one that I mean, aside from the Arcturian stuff, it's just one that kind of touches on expanded awareness of how certain things work and how they affect humankind, and can we reduce negative effects? Maybe. So that's kind of the way I look at it. But yeah, appreciate the patience. But yes, I'm Dr. Mia Luth, and I will occasionally just pop a video up. And like today, I mentioned Schrodinger's cat. Okay? And I have mentioned before, just before I go, there are some laws of physics that are going to be tested and broken soon. Very clearly on Earth. So, your science isn't that hard sciences. I know. Well, the Mia Hate Club is getting larger around me. It's sad. I don't like it. But there are a lot of princesses and queens and others who are about ready to find out some things that they don't want to hear. But some of these people aren't brilliant, ladies and gentlemen, and they're not. So be careful who you're worshiping and idolizing. Alright? Concentrate on being you. Find out who you are. Okay? Find out who you are as a person. And that is the one thing that all human beings can do for little children everywhere on Earth, no matter what. Okay? So, alright. Thanks for watching. If you have questions, put them in the comment section. Alright, thanks.